Hey, what's going on, guys? Archer Mark here, back with another figure review. This is a 6-inch scale figure from the upcoming Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice movie. This is the armored Batman. This is a very cool figure. Has a great look and just really interesting designs. Very much inspired by the Dark Knight Returns comic book. And it's very glad to have added this into my collection. First, we'll give you a quick look at the packaging. The same as all the others. DC Comics Multiverse. We got Batman vs. Superman logo. We got the bubble here. Cool image of the armored Batman. We got the DC Comics logo. See Batman vs. Superman, armored Batman. Again, part of the Collect and Connect Grapple Blaster replica. And we go up here. Multiverse logo, Batman vs. Superman logo. Here's same image there. And basic bio for the movie. Little quick synopsis of what the movie is going to be about. And the back here's, again, the Batman vs. Superman logo, Armored Batman. What the DC Comics Multiverse is about. This little synopsis here again. Pause the video if you want to read this. And again, there's the Batman Grapple Blaster. When all 8 figures are released, we'll have all the parts and we can put together this display piece, which is basically what it is. The handle doesn't come off that base, so it's going to be a display piece. You're not going to be able to use this for maybe role playing or anything like that. So it looks kind of interesting. Here's all the 4 figures: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, which I've reviewed already, and the armored Batman, which we're doing right now. Figures 5 through 8 coming soon. The DC Warner Bros. Logos, all that good stuff. That again is the packaging. Now I'm going to go on to this guy. Really interesting, very cool looking. I think this figure, for the most part, is really well done. Has one major shortcoming, in my opinion. It's all this kind of like metallic silver, and this looks really cool. You could see all the details done on this, all the little kind of scratches and things and parts of the armor. Obviously he uses this to help battle the Man of Steel. So very little color variation on this, but still looks really cool. Similar cape again, like with the other Batman. This one's a little stiffer, but it's, for the most part, it's a pliable cape. It kind of, it doesn't move as freely as, say, a cloth cape might, but it's not super rigid that you have problems moving it around. Okay, and you can see all the details of the strap here with the buckle. There's no bat logo on the chest. It seems that bothers, I know, some people. But I think it would be neat to have that, but it still looks cool. Again, the details on this look really neat. And we'll show you his one accessory, which is this gun. Which I'm not sure what to think about this. I don't like the idea of Batman using a gun. We're not sure what kind of gun this is. Is it bullets? Is it some sort of grapple gun? Maybe it's a kryptonite gun. I don't know. And I never liked the idea of Batman using a gun. He's supposed to be opposed to stuff like that, given how his parents were taken away. But it's sculpted nice. It's just a simple black plastic. There's no other color variation there. So, not bad. Now, we're going to set him down. Now, one thing, I'm going to go right into his one fault is, you notice I have him standing on this stand, or I have him leaning against this stand. He does not come with this stand. And it would have been really nice if he did come with a stand, because that is his big problem. I'll take this away for a moment. You see here, see, he's got these feet, and they're sculpted in. You got these metal treads, or meant to look like metal. There's no peg holes, so you can't put him on a stand. Unless you have something like this where he's just kind of leaning up against. And because of this, his feet do not stay flat, you know. And it makes him really difficult to stand. You really got to struggle. See? You almost got to bend his knees, and it took a lot of effort to get this guy to stand earlier. And see, you see all the trouble I'm having getting him to stand. It's just not working out because his feet they don't lay flat. You can, with some work, get it to work, but it's super difficult, and that is a bad design flaw. I would rather just make the feet flat. I'm just going to put it on the stand for the sake of this review. I'm just going to lean him up like that. You know, you're really not going to see the bottom of the feet. I think they could have foregone putting the spikes and made it more of a flat foot so he could stand. You know, so that's a big issue, especially if you're going to pose him on a shelf, or if you want to get some sort of display, and if he's just constantly falling over, that's not going to work. So that is a big design flaw. Articulation, we'll go over that. Okay, head again is on a ball joint and a hinge, so he has pretty decent movement left and right, and you can look down a little bit, very little, and can't really look up at all. So that's been consistent with these figures. So left and right, but no up and down movement, or very little up and down movement. Shoulders are a nice ball joint. The hinge, they move up and forward, backward. Of course, you know, you have to move the cape over to get it to move back. Single joint at the elbow, and bicep swivel right there, and swivels at the wrist. There's no hinge joints, there's no double articulation on the elbows. One thing is, again, the joints are not super tight, they're not super loose, so it's a good medium. So that's not bad. There is a waist joint, which is good. And that's it. There's no ab crunch, no nothing like that, but you do got the waist joint, which isn't bad. The hips, same kind of hinge joints there. They do this full splits if you want. Legs move forward a good amount and move back a good amount, so that's good. And we get, again, right above the knee, you have that swivel. Single joint at the knee, and there is hinge joints at the ankles and no ankle pivots. Those are really tight, which would be very helpful with a figure to get it to stand. But again, because of the treads, you just can't get it to stand. It's just, again, I managed to do this the other day, but it took a lot of work, and it's just really going to be a struggle. So again, I'm just going to place them like that. Like I said, the figure looks great. I'm still glad I picked him up. He looks cool. The sculpting, the paint detail is really cool. The articulation is okay for the most part. We've seen figure lines with better articulation than this. But again, the biggest problem with this figure is what they did with the feet. You know, I need a figure to stand on its own. I like the idea. It's cool if you have some sort of stand like this to sort of lean him up against something, but I'd rather have him standing on his own. I did this before just to show you a comparison. Here is the armored Batman with Superman standing next to him. Okay, just to show you what it looks like. Is bigger in this case. I think it should be bigger than Superman with the armored. There's that. But again, it's such a big design flaw that this guy will not stand on his own, or won't stand without a lot of playing around with it. So again, that may dissuade people from wanting to get this figure. I don't know. For me, I felt I needed to have this. I loved the look of all these figures, despite their limitations. I still really like this figure. Maybe some people want to hold off. Maybe I'm sure there are other companies that are going to be doing more articulated versions or better versions of these characters. There's going to be tons of merchandise for this movie, I'm sure. But again, that comes to the individual person on whether you want to hold off or get him despite his limitations. I still feel it's a good figure. I'm still glad to have him. But he's not without his shortcomings. So there you go. DC Comics Multiverse Batman vs. Superman Armored Batman figure. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Hope you enjoyed this video. And until my next video, stay tuned and have a good day.